Hi guys, welcome to Coturnix Corner. So I'm out back doing a little bit of work on the aviary and making some changes. A few weeks back we had a guest come on the Coturnix Corner live show, Katie Galley from Australia, and as part of her topic she talked a little bit about the deep litter method. And after hearing her talk and looking at some of the benefits, I thought I would go ahead and give it a try out here in the aviary. But originally built, my aviary was too shallow for me to be able to build up enough of a substrate base to use this deep litter method. So I talked privately with Katia over on Facebook and asked her if she thought that raising it up 8 inches would be deep enough, and she said that that would be basically perfect. So what I did was I went out and I bought some 8-inch by 8-inch concrete blocks, 8-inch by 8-inch by 16-inch concrete blocks, and I lifted up the whole aviary and set it on top of those blocks. The benefits for me was, one, it was going to lift my aviary up and get those 2x4s up off the ground and prevent them from rotting out, and it was also going to give me the depth that I needed to do the deep litter method. For those of you who don't know what the deep litter method is, it's basically you are creating a bed of organic materials which is basically alive, and there are microorganisms and bacteria which grow in this material, and it will help the material and the manure from your quail to decompose. By incorporating the manure into the bedding, it's going to help compost it, leaving you with a usable compost as an end product. So another benefit is you don't have to change out the substrate, but maybe once or twice a year. What I plan on doing is about every 6 months to a year, removing about 50 to 75% of the composted material. I'll take that over and place it in my garden, and then I'll refill it with fresh mulch and kind of blend it together. That way I've got kind of a starting base for it. I happen to be lucky as far as getting mulch. We have a county park just up the road where they bring in dump truckloads of mulch, and they give it away basically for free, to people in the community. So that works out well for me. But there are a lot of materials that you can use in your compost. What I did was I put down a bed about 2 inches deep of soil, which was out of my garden, and then I put the mulch material that I picked up in the aviary on top of the dirt, and that hopefully will help it to kind of take off a little bit quicker, because I know there is microorganisms and whatnot already growing in the dirt out of the garden. So what I would suggest is watching that video, and I'm going to link it in the description down below, the live stream that Katie was on. She gives you a lot of good ideas of stuff that you can use as substrate. I know she says you can use like table scraps, you can use yard waste clippings. Just be a little bit careful on the amount of yard clippings or grass clippings, because I think it can get too hot and actually ruin the process that the microorganisms are doing. So yeah, like I say, watch that video. She gives you a lot of good ideas. So let me real quick give you a basic idea. I'll walk you around the outside of the aviary and show you what I did and kind of explain it a little bit, and then I'll take you inside and show you what we've got set up in there. And we finally got the birds moved in, so they're really enjoying it. So let me go ahead and grab the camera and we'll take a quick walk around. Okay, so basically you can see where we've lifted up the aviary. Right down there is the concrete block. And what I did was I went around when I first started this and I lifted up each corner of the aviary and set it on a concrete block. And what I was able to do from there was to come around with the rest of the block and fit them in, and then I came back with some concrete mix, or actually it was stucco mix, and I covered both sides of the block, on the outside of the block and also on the inside of the block. And I also did every joint area. I don't know how well you can see that. Maybe I should get on the other side here. Every joint was packed full of the stucco mix, which basically acts as a mortar. So once I got all the block laid and tied in together with the stucco mix, I went around the outside and the inside of the block and I stuccoed them. And the reason for that was, on the outside was basically for appearance, but on the inside it kind of sealed the blocks a little bit to keep the moisture from being drawn into the block and actually weakening the concrete, which it can do if it gets wet for too long. So yeah, that's basically the outside. Let me go ahead and take you inside real quick and show you what we've got. So this is the same basic setup that we had before as far as the furniture in the house goes. And you can see, if you look along the edge, that concrete block, the substrate is down about 4 inches all the way around. And the reason for that is, one, it saved me an extra trip up to get another load of mulch. But two, what I plan on doing is adding mulch. Instead of turning the stuff in right away, what I can do is, you know, every other week, come in here, turn it a little bit, and then add another wheelbarrow or two of mulch on top of it until I get built up to my top of my concrete block. Now you can see over here on these concrete blocks where the tops are still open. I did fill them with dirt, but what I plan on doing is coming back, I'm going to mix up some more of that concrete mix, and I'll go ahead and seal the tops of those off, just to keep you know, anything from crawling in there, keeping the birds from going in there and getting stuck or whatever. So you can see I've got a few birds out here. These are some of the jumbo wilds that I got from Anita over at AJ Farms. We've got a whole bunch of them back inside there. But yeah, that's the basic plan for this. I'm kind of interested to see how well the composting works, or how long it takes before it actually gets to where it's actually starting to rot out this material. You can see it's, yeah, it's a mix of everything. I mean, there's leaves and palm frond material, grass, all kinds of stuff in here. And what I'll do is I'll take like any vegetable table scraps that you know, we should have left over off the table, and I'll throw them out here for the birds, and whatever they don't eat, it'll actually get composted into this material. So that's about it. I think it's going to work out real well. I'm really excited that I don't have to come out here every single week and you know, rake the thing out, turn it over, bring in more dirt and whatnot, like I was doing in the previous setup. Okay guys, so I hope that gave you a little bit better understanding of how the deep litter method works, and encourages you, if you're in the situation to use this method, to go ahead and give it a shot and see how well it works out for you. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps me out. You can get notified of any new and upcoming videos if you hit that notification bell. I appreciate you joining me today, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.